Hello everyone, it's Christine here and happy Christmas. I'm back for the final button in my Nana's Button vintage advent calendar, and so we'll be having a look at number 25 in a moment, and then we'll be having a look at the final of the Christmas stitcheries that I want to share with you for this year, and then I'll be pinning this up downstairs so we can enjoy looking at it when we're eating Christmas lunch. So let's have a look at our final button. I'm filming this on Saturday in readiness for Monday, because I'm not sure how busy I'll get tomorrow doing all the prep, because we're hosting for Christmas. And so we've got a beautiful little button with a moulded raised 4-leaf clover for good luck for the new year. So I'm going to send that out and share that with all of you. It's a lovely little plastic button, beautiful and white. So that is the complete, and apologies for the sun shining through the window, that's the complete advent calendar with all the vintage buttons. Well, not all of them, I've got a whole lot of other Nana vintage buttons, but this was just a great way to share some of them. So I hope you have enjoyed sharing that with me, and I'll show you the stitchery now. My table's looking lovely downstairs. I've got my bonbons on it, as well as my little baubles that I made, and there's separate videos on those. And this one was a Nutcracker inspired piece. So the prompt was Nutcracker, and I happen to have in my collection, when we got the prompt, this beautiful fabric that was written not the way that Nutcracker sweet is spelt, but sweet as in SWEET. Had lots of sort of lollies around it, little words around it, and yeah, the Nutcracker there, and a scene, I guess, from the book. And so I wanted to create a really vintage feel, and sort of picking up on these colours, but then using the vintagey colours with it. But I'll start with the centre, and I did some padding of it, so sort of trapunto style, where I've got raised elements. So the Nutcracker's raised at the front, the tree, the little girl, even this little banner, and the curtains as well. And then there's just really intricate stitching all over that center piece. The Nutcrackers, yeah, his pants are fully stitched in both perle thread and then a silvery goldy thread. The boots are fully stitched. I've then used gold thread to do all the embellishments, silvery thread for his teeth and his beard and his hair. The tree has lots of little fur stitching on it to really add dimension to it, and then little stars stitched in gold thread. The bows are fully stitched, and then I've done little running stitches to delineate where the curtains are. I'm just going to put my other light on. Did a little bow on the clock, and there's little leaves coming down there. That's all stitched in gold thread. The curtain stitching continues down both sides. And then I had a lovely time around the whole piece, just collaging quite a bit of tea dyed. That was rust dyed. That was actually like a rusty screw dyed there. I sort of thought the reference to nuts and bolts, sort of, that's what that thinking was. A sweet little button. I think I actually got that as a spare little button on a piece of clothing. I think it was something from Blue Illusion. And then some tea dyed doilies. I put a little handkerchief behind some mesh, just as an interesting little element. Got a little heart charm down there. I've got a leaf that I stitched into, and that was tea dyed fabric as well, I think. A little colour selvage, some braid, did some little flower stitching and beads. Another lovely piece of fabric with some more beads scattered all around. So yeah, I really got into the stitching on this piece. This was a whole doily, so I didn't cut into it. It's actually just sitting under the piece there. That's a sort of a braid off a piece of fabric. Got some cogs and things. Used some little metal embellishments on the corners of the piece. Another cog up there. Lots of beads around the rust. 1816, I think that was the year that it was written, I think. So that's these are little pieces taken from a very old cloth measuring tape. Beautiful piece of flower embroidery that I cut out, some upholstery fabric, a bit of ticking, and then I use my French laundry labels. So I've got if, and then I've got LO and VE, which you might have seen me using in other things. So if love, so it's a story all about love. And then this beautiful fabric, which you've probably seen me use as well. I've actually, funnily enough, I've got a bit of this sitting on my desk and a bit of one of these flowers, which are going to be going on my Roxy piece, sitting on my desk right now. So both those fabrics, I think, just goes to show that the scraps sort of continue to linger around and then get used. So yeah, I did, it looks like I used the coppery coloured thread around this one and just stitched all around the outline. So I didn't do seed stitching all throughout. I really just followed around the outline of the tree shapes. And yeah, another bit of doily, just sort of buttoning up against that with that another one of those lovely buttons, and then I put some little beads holding that button down. Another beautiful old bit of fabric over there. I like this music fabric, and again I tea dyed that. I have heard Sarah Homfrey and others talking about when you tea dye, the fabric will degrade over time, but it's interesting. I mean, this is only a year old, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be degrading as yet. And as you can see from the back, a lot of stitching went into it, and a lot of the stitching was done, for example, on this panel before it was stitched down as well. So some of it was done up once it was stitched down, but other bits were done beforehand. And yeah, it looks like it's just backed onto a little napkin because it's a hemmed piece of napkin that I would have used as my base. So yeah, I absolutely adore this one. I was saving this one till last to share with you because it's such a tactile and beautiful and interesting piece. And I like that I put the square off center, so it's not looking sort of too symmetrical. And I like that this acts as a little tag or a little tab. So again, just playing with the ideas of journaling and putting them into this piece. So it's got another piece of, I think this is like an upholstery fabric. It feels like velour. And then I love this little fabric up here, which has all these little swirls in it. Oh, and then that piece of spotty fabric, I think that's from Nana's collection. And then this one underneath. So yeah, again, there's just things that you only see when you look at it. That's one type of fabric down the bottom here. That's another type of fabric there. Another one there. So there's just lots and lots of detail. Even this one's got little blue beads and greeny goldy beads in the center there. So lots to find, little plus symbols and little crosses. Yeah, it's great to just add those details because you'll enjoy looking at them, and others who appreciate what we do in these pieces, they'll enjoy looking at the detail as well. So that brings me to the end of the Christmas stitchery and crafting and recipe and sort of day in the life videos, and I just want to send out best wishes, whether you're celebrating Christmas or spending it in some other way. Just wanting to send out lots of love to everyone and thank you all for your support, and I'll see you soon with some reports from Christmas. Take care everyone. Bye.